Hello, welcome back to Mark Mack Being Me, podcast episode 29, the 4 steps to happiness. You've arrived. If that's your destination, welcome. You've already arrived. And I could give away the whole farm in the first 2 minutes. I probably will. This 4 steps to happiness was inspired by an Indian gentleman named Anthony DeMello. And he passed away in 1987, I believe. And he was an Indian priest and a psychotherapist. And it was inspired from listening to this audiobook of his called Awareness. And he mentions the 4 steps to happiness within that book. But that entire book could be summed up in one sentence, which is clarity of perception and accuracy of response. That's life right there in a nutshell in one sentence. Clarity of perception and accurate response. So let's go into clarity of perception first. We don't actually see reality. We see life the way that we are. So you don't see the life that it is. You don't see reality. You see yourself reflected back through your perception, which comes through your conditioning, through your hypnosis, through your understanding of life, through your life experience, through everything that's happened to you has created this lens in which you see life, like the glasses that you put on. You're seeing life through that lens. That is your clarity of perception, and you believe it's reality. You believe that's how life is until you realize how life really is. And then accuracy of response. We're only responding to the accuracy that we truly understand, the clarity that we perceive. Right? And then that's happiness right there. Happiness is your natural state of being. Happiness is not attainable through something outside of you. That is a fleeting experience that will just give you some more things to look for, some more pain. It won't last forever. That experience that you're chasing external of you, that can last for a minute, an hour, a day, but it would never suffice because it's not real. It's not you. You already are happy. We're just in the habit of being unhappy and looking at stuff outside of you to give you something that you already are. So that's happiness in a nutshell, but let's get into the 4 steps, because why not explore ways in which you can rediscover yourself, find the true happiness that you are, remind yourself, because this is all a remembering, and be happy. Be your true self, which is happiness. It's not something that's external of you. It's not going to come from a job promotion. It's not going to come from a new spouse. It's not going to come from a new car, from drugs, from anything outside of you. You are everything that you're looking for. You really are the thing. And let's get into the 4 steps of happiness. Step 1 is become aware of your negative emotions. Become aware when you're feeling shit. Become aware when you're triggered. Right, because we could go into an experience and become that experience. There's a little moment, there's a space that exists when you're in a conversation with somebody and they say something and they trigger you, or you're driving down the street and someone cuts in front of you. There's a little space that exists before reacting, before responding. There's that space that exists, and then the emotion comes in. Then it's like, fuck, who are you to drive in front of me? Hey, can't you see I'm driving here? Like, get out of my way. I've got to go somewhere. Do you know who I am? I need to be at a certain destination right now and you're cutting in front of me. That's not on. I don't like that. That's fucking bullshit. Who are you to say that to me? Do you know who I am? Do you know how I feel? Do you know how that makes me feel when you say that to me? I don't like to hear that. I don't need to hear that right now. You know, the righteousness. Be aware of what's happening inside of you. Become aware of the real shit, which is your clarity of perception. It's what's happening inside. And the more that you start to become aware of how you're feeling, the more that you can realize that you're in control of your life. It's not pointing the finger outside of you and giving power to someone outside of you to dictate how you're going to live your life. Happiness is within. Happiness is you. It's your natural state of being. And the more you become aware of how you're feeling, the more you can particularly become aware of negative feelings. It's a good place to start, because when we're feeling positive, we're not really aware. We're just like in the moment feeling happiness, right? It's not like when you set out on a destination, when you actually really want or desire something, you're pushing it further away. When you're in the experience of wanting happiness, like I want happiness, I want the perfect spouse. If you want the perfect spouse, then you're just going to push them further away, because you're setting out that energetic experience of wanting and desiring. Whereas if you hear from all the mystics, all the greats, it's all about letting go and surrendering. And it's letting go of an attachment. What brings us pain and suffering is attachments to whatever you can call it, whatever you want to label it. Attachment to happiness. If you're in a relationship and you're arguing, I'm attached to you being a certain way, so then that can make me happy. Why aren't you being like that? Why aren't you doing the things that I want you to do? I'm attached. And then happiness is outside of you, because it's unless your environment is perfect, then you can be happy. But again, you're getting further and further away from the realization that you are everything that you're looking for. You are the happiness. You are the thing. And the more that you look for happiness outside of you, the more that you expect people to be a certain way, the less that you can actually experience life, the less that you're allowing life to simply be. I would let life be as long as it be exactly how I want it to be. That's an expectation, and that's going into relationships too. You know, I expect you to be a certain way. That's not real love. That's not unconditional. That's real love with the condition that you be exactly as I want you to be. But coming back to becoming aware of your negative feelings, it's a great place to start. The negative feelings, because it's pretty obvious that you don't want them when they're happening. Feeling anxious or overwhelmed, feeling a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame. An easy one for me to bring awareness to is like having a conversation with my girls, and then in the heat of an argument. So I've got 3 young girls, and say if like they're doing something that I don't want them to do, and I have an argument or whatever, and then leave the room, or they go to their room, or whatever happens. It's very rare for me, to be honest. But after the fact, then the guilt comes in of like, I shouldn't have said that. Or what did I say that for? I'm a bad father, or I'm a bad role model. Whatever it is, it's noticing this, right? It's labeling. It's identifying with a label. Labeling yourself as good or bad. And step 1 is to notice that. Could be your boss could say something at work to you. And the funny thing for me, it's like, it's so funny to see. Every time my boss says, like, calls me into his office or something, I have this instant feeling, this anxiousness comes into me like, fuck, I've done something wrong. Like, what have I done now? Oh, fuck. Oh, this is it. This is too good to be true, this job. And they've found the secret about me and now I'm gone, This, I'm such a scared little man, hey? But this is built into me. It's so funny to see it every single time calls me into the office and we just have a chat about something cool, like all the time. Like, for instance, one time he brought me in there and I was thinking, oh shit, like, and all the boys are coming in. Oh, here we go. There's something going on here now. The mind straight away, right? And then he's saying, like, these are some air conditioners that we want to use because it's getting really hot in Perth, Australia. He wants to get like these big evap systems that you can wheel around and plug into the water so you can cool the workshop. Like, how cool is that? But in my mind, I was thinking, like, I'm going to get told off. So it's cool to become aware of. It's almost like you're watching yourself, and it's like a movie playing out. And so you get to see, oh shit, oh yeah, here he goes. He gets told this by the boss, little Marky boy, and all the anxiousness comes in now. He thinks that he's in trouble. Oh, he thinks that he's done something wrong. He thinks that they're onto him now, and his secret's revealed, Become aware. Start there. Step 2 is be. Understand that the feeling is not you. It's not reality. And gain a clarity of perception through realizing what you are. You are happiness, right? Start there. Start with the place of happiness is your natural state of being. Okay, so now you know you're happy. Now you know who you truly are, right? I've just given you the whole farm. Now you know that, so whenever you're feeling an anxiousness, whenever you're feeling an uncertainty, a worry, doom and gloom, guilt, whenever you're feeling anything like that, understand that that's not what you are. You are unconditional happiness. You are peace. You are unconditional love. You're an infinite creative being having this human experience. So step 2 is be. It's be. It's literally be with however you are. Be with your experience, right? So I do know, the more that I avoid how I'm feeling, the more that I prolong the suffering that I'm experiencing. And if I think of anxiousness, the more that I try to escape the anxiousness, the more that I feed it. Because you're literally feeding it with your energy of wanting a different moment, of wanting the next moment when everything is okay, when everything is fine. By doing that, you're perpetuating the feeling that you're in right now. When I'm trying hard to get away from this. Trying is the energy of not having. You're just going to feed it. So what do? You be. You let it be. You be. It's going to sound funny if you never tried this out. So be with the way that you are right now, however you're feeling. What does help me is when I am in certain states and I can have the time, I go outside and I sit down and I look at a tree, I look at a flower, and I breathe with the plants. I just sit with nature, and it just gets you back. The breath helps as well. Focusing on that, and just being with the way that you are, right? Yeah, step 3 is never identify with that feeling, right? So this is going to come down to a language thing too. Like, I'm depressed. You don't say, I'm depressed. You say that depression's there. That's fine. I'm noticing depression. I'm noticing a feeling of depression coming up right now. And again, it's that perception of observing yourself like you're in a movie, like, oh, the boss has said that, and now I'm noticing a feeling of anxiousness, which is tied to a future thought of, oh, I'm going to get in the office. I wonder if he's going to tell me that that's it. It's all over. Get out of here. So instead of saying I'm depressed, say there's depression here. There's gloominess here. There's anxiety here. That's fine. It's literally what's happening now. It's present, but it's not I am. Because you are far greater than depression, and you're not anxious. You're not anxious. You are a divine, infinite, creative being experiencing the emotion of anxiousness right now, in this moment, right? Can you let go of the label that you're giving it, I am? Because you're feeding it. You're giving it life by identifying with it. Become aware of it. Don't label yourself as it. And it is a result of your conditioning. It's a result of your programming. It's a result of your hypnosis. The whole identification of what is. But that's okay too. Don't have to become a thought detective of where did this thought originate from, because you could spend your whole life detecting thoughts. It'll come up the moment that it needs to come up. And in that moment you'll see it, right? You'll free yourself from it. It's not your duty, your obligation, your responsibility to detect thoughts and their original formations. Although the more that you become aware of yourself, the more that you will discover the originalities of these thoughts, where they originate from. Step 4, man. Change. There's a beautiful example that Anthony DiMorello uses in the book Awareness, and he's talking about you seeing a doctor, and you go to see a doctor and you say, doctor, there's something really wrong with me. I've got this condition, whatever it is, and I really need some help. And the doctor says, yes, I have the antidote. I have it here. Here it is. Take these 4 pills and give them to your neighbor, and then you'll be okay. And then, oh, thank you so much, doctor. Thank you. That's exactly what I need to do. I need my neighbor to change in order for me to be happy. I need my spouse to change in order for me to be happy. I need my environments to be more peaceful in order for me to be happy. I need my brother to shut up, to stop triggering me in order for me to be happy. I need my mum and dad to change. For my happiness, you have to change. Do you see that? It's you need to change. You want to change your world, change yourself. You want to be happy? Look at yourself. Don't look at outside of yourself to be happy. This is from Meister Eckhart. It's not by your actions that you will be saved, but by your being. It's not by your actions that you will be saved, but by your being. That is Meister Eckhart, who, if you're familiar with Eckhart Tolle, he's the dude that Eckhart actually named himself after, changed his name from whatever it was to Eckhart Tolle. Doesn't matter what you say, it's your being, right? Doesn't matter the words that I'm saying, it's actually the being behind the words, because the words are just expressing whatever is. But it's the being, you can learn a lot of information, and some people are very smart, and I love that. However, it doesn't matter how much information you take on, because this is beyond the analytical mind. This is our very nature, our human essence, but also beingness, our spiritual beingness is pure happiness. It's our natural state. So, they're the 4 steps. How wonderful life is when you realize that you're already here. Right? Be yourself, be your true self. Be aware of the negative feelings as they arise. Be with them. Realize that you are not the negative feeling. You're not anxious. You're a divine, infinite, creative being experiencing an anxious thought right now. Zoom out and observe yourself as a third perspective in a way of watching a movie. That helps. I come in and out of that. Like I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm the observer all day. You know, far out, bro. No. I've got my stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We've all got our stuff, and I feel this this life is a school. It's a curriculum for us to look at our stuff, to take the course, which is being human. Take that course. We're not elevating ourselves up into the sky, the stars, the moon. We're all of the things, all of the different planes, the astral planes, the physical, and the spiritual. We're all of the stuff. But happiness is you. You're looking at it when you look in the mirror. It's your natural state of being. And just a reminder, if you do have small children, or you might have some kids in the family that are small, just observe them. Just observe them, how they are. I'll leave you with this. I was picking up Ella from school. She's our eldest. She's our 6-year-old. I was picking her up from school on, I think it was last Wednesday or Tuesday. And we were just walking past a young boy, and she said, "Oh, I love that boy. I think he's in her class. She goes to this West Coast Steiner school, so Rudolf Steiner, this German guy, invented this school. It's very much like a Montessori style, which is like beautiful, beautiful style. Yeah, I won't get too deep into the way the school was and the factory, don't need to. But yeah, he was a couple of years younger than Ella. And she said, "I love that boy." Because he's in her class. You can have like ages 4s, 5s and 6s all together, which is beautiful to start with. And I said, because I get inquisitive with the kids. I ask the kids the questions because the kids know the answers. They haven't been programmed or conditioned. Do you know that? And I asked her, like, why do you love, this boy? And she said, because he's happy and free. So, and I said, yeah, I can see why you love him. Be happy, be free, be you. Much love. Much love now.